Today is day 16 of Ramadan, and half of Ramadan has passed. Yesterday we reached the halfway checkpoint. We reflected on our deeds, assessed our progress, and renewed our intentions. But tonight, we confront something that silently destroys many people's Ramadan. The tongue, a small part of the body, but one of the most dangerous. The Prophet ﷺ warned us about this clearly. He ﷺ said, "Whoever guarantees for me what is between his jaws and what is in between his legs, I guarantee for him paradise." Sahih al-Bukhari 6474. Between his jaws, the tongue. Many people believe fasting is simply staying away from food and drink. They feel successful if they endure hunger until Maghrib. But the Prophet ﷺ corrected this misunderstanding. He said, "Whoever does not give up false speech and acting upon it, Allah has no need of him giving up his food and drink." Sahih al-Bukhari 1903. Think about that statement carefully. Allah does not need your hunger, and He does not need your thirst. What Allah wants from you is discipline, sincerity, and purification. That is what He wants from your fast. If someone fasts all day but lies, insults, backbites, spreads gossip, or argues unnecessarily, they may be starving physically but gaining nothing spiritually. And this is one of the biggest traps of Ramadan. Because controlling the tongue is harder than controlling hunger. Hunger is physical, it fades with time. But the tongue is connected to the nafs and your ego. When someone angers up, the tongue wants to react. When gossip appears in conversation, the tongue wants to participate. When a joke spreads about someone, the tongue wants to add more. Yet, every word is recorded. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Holy Quran, "Not a word does a person utter except that with him is an observer ready to record." Quran, Surah number 50, verse 18. Every word, not just a major statement. Every whisper, every insult, every careless joke, every piece of gossip. And this should make us pause, because the angels are recording it all. Because sometimes people protect their praise carefully. They guard their fasting carefully, but they allow their tongue to roam freely. They talk about others, they complain consistently, and they argue online. They mock people and they spread rumors. And they do not realize something even more important. Words have consequences beyond what we see. The Prophet ﷺ said, "A person may utter a word without thinking about its consequences, and because of it he will fall into the fire farther than the distance between the east and the west." Sahih al-Bukhari 6477. One word, one careless statement, one moment of anger, and the consequences can be enormous. This is why Ramadan is a training ground. It's not just training the stomach, it's training the character. When somebody provokes you while you are fasting, the Prophet ﷺ taught us a specific response. He said, if someone insults him or tries to start a fight, he should say, "I am fasting." Sahih al-Bukhari 1904. Why? Because fasting reminds you of your purpose. You are not just hungry, you are disciplining your soul. You are learning patience, and you are restrained. You are learning not every thought deserves to be spoken. Not every argument deserves a response. Not every insult deserves revenge. And the strong believer is not the one who always wins arguments. The strong believer is the one who controls themselves. The Prophet ﷺ said, "The strong man is not the one who can empower others in wrestling, but the strong man is the one who controls himself when angry." Sahih al-Bukhari 6114 and Sahih al-Muslim 2609. Controlling anger begins when controlling the tongue, because anger usually escapes through words. A harsh response, a sarcastic comment, a hurtful insult, but once words leave the mouth, they cannot be taken back. And that, on Ramadan, is the perfect time to train yourself to pause. Before speaking, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it true? Is it necessary? And is it beneficial? If the answer to those questions is no, silence is better. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Whoever believes in Allah and the last day should speak good or remain silent." Sahih al-Bukhari 6018, Sahih al-Muslim 47. Silence is not a weakness. Sometimes silence is wisdom. Sometimes silence protects your deeds. Sometimes silence protects your heart. And remember something very, very important. Backbiting is not a small sin. Allah describes it in the Quran with a powerful image. "And do not backbite one another. Would one of you like to eat the flesh of his dead brother? You would detest it." Quran 49:12. Imagine that image, eating the flesh of your own dead brother. That is how disgusting backbiting is in the sight of Allah. Yet it happens consistently in conversations, in gatherings, on social media. People talk about others casually, forgetting about their words are being recorded. Ramadan is the time to break this habit. If someone begins gossiping, change the subject. If a conversation becomes harmful, step away. If your anger feels like it's rising, remember that your fast is more valuable than your pride. Protecting your tongue protects your heart, because every good deed you build can be destroyed by careless speech. The scholars say something very profound. The tongue is small, but its sins can be enormous. Today is on day 16. The challenge is simple but powerful. Guard your tongue for the rest of Ramadan. Speak less, remember Allah more, replace idle talk with dhikr, and replace gossip with Quran. Replace arguments with patience, and if you fail, do not despair. Return immediately. Ask Allah for forgiveness and correct your behavior, because Ramadan is about progress, not perfection. Night 16 is a reminder that true fasting is not about what enters your mouth, it is what leaves it. Your words reveal the condition of your heart. Purify your tongue, guard your speech, protect your Ramadan, because every word is written, and every word will meet you again on the day of judgment. And this is day 16 of 30 nights to answer. So guard your tongue and guard your reward. This is Bams Bay signing off. Peace out.